Okay, so good morning again. We are actually recording again. The floor is yours.
All right. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. I would like to talk to you about how you can elevate the value of your current SharePoint and project investments with UMT360 with a solution that we call Enterprise Portfolio Management. My name is Jan Kallis. I'm the Director of Partner Network and Product Management here at UMT360, and I can be reached at jan.kallis@UMT360 if you have any questions. Today's agenda. I'd like to introduce you the Enterprise Portfolio Management solutions, but also to do a demonstration of such solutions. And because I know that many of you are very familiar with Microsoft Project and Microsoft PPM, I would like to show you also the financial intelligence that UMT is bringing on the project platform, as well as demo, obviously. Then we'll wrap up, and we can go through questions and answers at the end. So some of the challenges that we are seeing in enterprise customers is that people struggle to get the capacity to invest in innovations because the system of record budgets that they're spending, they're growing, and the operational budgets are growing, and they're finding less and less money for innovation. So it means that there has to be some way of rationalizing all those investments, making sure that the investments bring returns, and if we need to cut particular investments, we need to be exactly sure what to cut in order to free up some funds for other, maybe higher profitable investments within the company. Also, it goes hand in hand with ability to realize the business plan value. So regardless if you're running a project or if you're managing a set of IT services within your organizations or an application, you need to be able to maximize the return on investment, the benefits that that investment will bring to you. And UMT360 is a solution that can help you with both of those angles of you. First, finding enough money for innovation, or finding the right money for innovation. And second, realizing the business value that is needed to maximize the ROI. So who is UMT360? So we are, beside of others, a cool vendor by Gartner in the PPM space, and Gartner recognized us for the financial intelligence that we are bringing onto Microsoft Project Platform, and they are echoing that bridging the gap between the project manager and finance is really important. We have been also named as a visionary in the so-called IIPA magical quadrant that is called Integrated IT Portfolio Analysis, where Gartner is mentioning that running IT as a business is the theme of today. Also, we have been named the Partner of the Year finalist in 2014, so it's very recent. And also, we are a Gold Project and Portfolio Management Partner. So our solution really helps organizations to create an organizational blueprint and transform the way they manage their enterprise investment portfolios. And those portfolios could be products, projects, programs, applications, or IT services. And what we are finding is that when organizations digitize their investment planning and controls across all those investments and get maybe similar KPIs or similar ways how they think about those investments across all those investment portfolios, then they can gain complete transparency and financial intelligence that they obviously need to make smarter decisions and, of course, drive their business performance. So some of the key pillars that UMT360 offers is obviously portfolio integration. That's something that I highlighted, where you can look holistically at the organizational blueprint across different types of portfolios. You, of course, are getting financial transparency. So not just cost, but you can also very granularly track benefits or intended revenue that that project or product is bringing to your organization. Seeing the relation between all those individual portfolio elements. Maybe you're thinking about cutting a particular application, but maybe you're not realizing that it supports a very important business process in your organization. And so that's all what you can see on powerful roadmap views. And of course, business intelligence or getting insights into the performance and results of your decisions is very key. Least but not last, UMT360 is the leading enterprise portfolio management solution that is integrating with, or it's actually building on top of SharePoint, and it's seamlessly integrated with Microsoft Project. So it's very unique solution in this regard as well. So now let me be a little bit more concrete. What do I mean by enterprise portfolio management? And maybe some of you already are in the enterprise program management. So maybe you're managing business projects within Microsoft Project, and maybe new campaigns or new products that you're offering to your company or to your customers. Or maybe some of you are in the IT program management, meaning you're managing IT projects within Microsoft Project. But as you can see, the entire the enterprise portfolio management really spans across multiple solutions. So it's not just the business side of the house that you can use our solution in and broaden the value and usage of your current Microsoft platforms like SharePoint and Project. For example, in product portfolio management. So we have companies who are managing their product portfolios within UMT360. Or on the other side, obviously, integrated IT portfolio management makes a lot of sense for CTOs, that they want to see a holistic view of their IT so they can really run IT as a business. So it's not just the transformational projects that are managed within the IT program management, but it's also about having holistic view of the application portfolio, IT services portfolio, etc. So I think it's a great time for a quick demo of enterprise portfolio management. What I want to show you here is that how UMT360 really allows you to create this organizational blueprint and track and to have a visibility across the entire portfolio within your organization. Let me switch to my demo machine here. So shortly, as soon as the screen loads, you should be able to see a start screen. And we believe that customizing this start experience is really important because customers need to see their Okay, here we go. So customers need to see what resonates with them because every solution that is implemented has to follow or answer certain business requirements that customers have. And so in this example, we allow customers to quickly go and create or analyze or run the business case analysis, or maybe take a look at the cost tracking and variance analysis, or look at benefits realization, etc., etc. But let me go into the enterprise data model that really shows the model in this demo environment of this fictitious organization called Contoso. And so as you imagine, our solution is really flexible, and it has the familiar user interface of Microsoft SharePoint and Microsoft Project that you can build, you can imprint your organizational blueprint. You can create, you can capture your own portfolios, and you can track your own portfolios. In this enterprise data model, you have this high-level view of all those types of portfolios, all those portfolios that we are managing. And if you notice, on the left-hand side, you can see the types of portfolios that are managed in this particular demo. Those are, if I read from the bottom, projects, programs, IT services, applications, and they roll up to business capabilities and business functions. Of course, if you have different types of portfolios, like products or product families or R&D investments or anything else, it all could be part of this model, and you can manage this portfolio in this one single view. As you can see, there are relations between those portfolios, and you can also see how the cost is rolling up from the bottom all the way to the top of the organization. UMT360 also allows you not only to integrate with ERP systems, but also capture some budgets and costs on the top level, and then see how it matches with the bottom-up roll-up costs or bottom-up finances. So if I, for example, go into the application portfolio, so what you should be able to see very shortly is the portfolio of applications. And the portfolio of application is a list of all the applications that exist in your organization. Well, to be frank, how many organizations actually have at least a list of applications that they either created internally or they procured from other vendors? Well, maybe some of them, but how many organizations really assess business fit or risk rating, or maybe even the total cost of ownership or benefits that these organizations bring? So this is the power of UMT360, that you can really get visibility into, for example, application portfolio management. What is also really important are reports, and this is report that is relevant to applications or relevant to IT, where right here in this bar chart you can see your spend relative to business capabilities and or importance of your business capabilities. So this dark green, the top line here, is the business importance for those business capabilities for your organization. And you can see that in the BI space, you're spending more than how you prioritize the business importance, or how you prioritize this importance of this business driver. You can, of course, break down the cost by different business capabilities. You can, for example, look at procurement, see what in the drill down, see what are the business capabilities breakdown within procurement. We call them business functions. So you can go to particular business functions, and then obviously you can drill into those business functions and see what applications support that business function. So this is a pretty granular view that you can get from the data that are available in the system. If I go back to the application portfolio here, many customers are asking us from where are these data coming from. And so, as I mentioned, some of the data could be synchronized from an ERP system, or this business fit and risk rating. It's an assessment that is built into UMT360, where through a survey you can generate these numbers, and then you can benchmark these applications across common criteria. Or a number of users. This is something that could be, again, brought from products like, for example, System Center or any other asset management system that tracks the current number of users. So now if we switch our heads from a CTO, from a high-level view, into someone like application manager or owner of an application, then you can imagine that the power of SharePoint is really highlighted here, that every application can have custom workflow, which really makes sense. And obviously those applications that are procured may have different workflows than those applications that were developed in-house. And if you're developing applications in-house, maybe you're using the Team Foundation server to manage that development. So then you can connect the world of application lifecycle management with application portfolio management all on Microsoft platform. So what you see here, that our CLM analytics application, which is Customer Lifecycle Management Analytics application, is already in production. It obviously has some high-level data or high-level metadata that were captured in the application details here. And as you can see, this is a form that reminds very closely a SharePoint list. And yes, all these data are also stored in a SharePoint list, so they're very easy to customize. I was talking about costs, and in this example, we can, or the application owner can provide cost estimates on a time phase level. And this is one of the key components, or one of the custom components that we have built and are bringing with UMT 360. Which is actually the ability to capture the cost on variable granularity and on variable level of detail. We have something what we call financial governance, and the financial governance is actually automatically driving the level of details that throughout the workflow is needed to capture the right financial information. I also want to mention that we have multiple currencies, and we have time-phased exchange rates. You can do snapshotting, you can allocate those different costs to different allocation centers or funding sources, etc., etc. But I will talk more about financial intelligence in relates to projects in my second demo. We are also able to capture any other type of time-phased information. In this case, it's actual consumption, but maybe I will just show this tier 1 storage actual consumption that is not necessarily in dollars, but in terabytes. So you can create your own currencies and then define exchange rates between terabytes and dollars. So you can switch back and forth. So in this example, it shows us what was the budget, what are the actual storage, etc., etc. I mentioned surveys. So the surveys allow us to capture high-level risk, or create a risk assessment just by replying to a survey. And the survey creates a risk score that can allow you to benchmark those applications against each other. Another component that I mentioned, another very important area, is the roadmap. So the roadmap shows the relation between all those portfolio elements in the system. So what you can see here on this roadmap view for our CLM analytics application is that, yes, this is our CLM analytics application. You can see also decisions that have been made and recorded here. So the decision to integrate with Epicor application was done in 2011 by and you can see the name of the person here. In this case, it was administrator. Or there was a decision to integrate with other applications as well. You can see the business function that this application is supporting. But more importantly, how the application was built. Well, the application was built by running this project that is called CLM Analytics Development. And you can see the details of the project. You can see the cost and cost start and end date, plan benefits, plan cost. And if I click on details, or if I click on the name of the application, I will go right into the project center and see the details of this project. This application had 2 enhancements through the 2012 and 2013 enhancements, and then it was decided to retire it a few weeks ago in this example. If I scroll down, I can also see the IT services that are consumed by this application. So you can very visually see the impact of different decisions that you make that impact other portfolio elements from that all-up enterprise portfolio model. Of course, least but not last, having great reports and insights is really important. And you can imagine that you can see trends like total cost of ownership, or license utilization, or business fit, or risk score. So in this case, you see that the license utilization is decreasing, and the risk is decreasing as well, but as well as the business fit is decreasing. We can go very detailed into cost breakdowns to see some detailed financial analysis of all, not only the development cost, operations and maintenance, etc., etc. So all this cost that and all this analysis that you can see is actually rolling up into this application through the infrastructure and through those projects that were used to create, retire, and enhance it. As you can imagine, you can see very similar view for example, IT services. So if I see IT services, again, this view is fully customizable. I can go to my tier 1 storage in this example, and it will show me, well, yes, this is onboarded, this is in production, and I can see actual consumption, for example, of this storage. And what is interesting here is how we showcase usage of allocation centers. So in this example, you can allocate the total storage into different allocation centers. In this case, those are departments. Obviously, same as application, the storage has a roadmap that obviously is pivoted off of that storage. So this was a really deep dive into the enterprise portfolio management on UMT 360. So if I go back and do a slight recap here, we started off of this enterprise data model that shows all the types of portfolios that we are managing in this sample organization Contoso. We drilled into applications and we drilled into IT services. We looked at how we can break down cost allocated to different departments, create or assess risk scores, business fit, and view the roadmaps that show relations between those individual portfolio elements. So I hope the demo was interesting. There will be still time for questions at the end, so let me move on to the second portion of the demonstration. So I would like to drill in more into financials, because the financials, the financial intelligence is really important in many aspects, as I mentioned, in assessing the return on investment, assessing the benefits, assessing the return that the project or application or IT service will bring to the organization. The reason why I want to drill into financial intelligence with projects is that project management is closer to many of us, and so that's why I want to showcase this right in the PPM or in the project management. So from the statistics, you probably hear about cost overruns and projects not meeting their business goals or projects not being implemented at all. So these were some of the statistics from Standish, Gartner, and PMI. The chart on the right-hand side says that almost 50% of projects is not meeting their intended business value. And this is coming out of our internal research. We've done hundreds of implementations, and this is what we hear from our customers. Now, why this could be? Well, there's an important way how project management offices, or many project management offices, are thinking about success, or what they call a success in project management. Typically, or many of them are focusing on the traditional items like schedule or traditional aspects like schedule, resource management, time sheeting, managing risks and issues. But they're a little forgetting about yet very important aspect, determining the business value and the financial benefit that the project will bring to the organization. If we step back, it makes total sense, because why we are running projects within the organization. We are not running them at all because we want to have a check mark that the project was done. But the project is supposed to transform something, our product, our internal service. It is supposed to establish some regulatory compliance processes, etc., etc. And everything should have measurable business value or return on investment. And this is where UMT can help as well. What we see is that many people, especially in the project management world, in the PPM world, are managing their finances in Excel. The challenge is that they're usually saving those Excel files in their local hard drives. So it's very hard to enforce any type of governance, any kind of uniformity to those calculations and those numbers. And of course, it's very hard to create all-up reporting of those data. ERP systems are great for finance people, but they do not necessarily have the necessary structures and views and granularity and breakdowns of financial information that the project management or the project managers need. And that's why UMT 360, when combined with Microsoft PPM, could deliver not only the financial transparency that the project management is needing, but also we do have a connection with ERP systems, so you can bring the data from ERP system right into Microsoft PPM and display it using UMT 360. And obviously you can create reports where you see side-by-side information from schedule management, resource management, and financial management. The financial intelligence, or growing in the financial intelligence, it's very much similar as maturing in project management, from, let's say, task management to some work group project management, all the way to the high-end project and portfolio management with portfolio optimization. And the similar growth exists for financial intelligence. On the very bottom, typically organizations start with establishing the investment controls across their life cycle. So maybe you start to think about what would be the granularity, the breakdowns, how you allocate those costs. What is the level of details that you collect at what stage during the project life cycle to create, select, plan, manage, and evaluate, if you will. The next step could be integrate with line of business integration and automate reporting. Automated reporting, it's a very frequent ask that we see from many customers. And UMT 360 comes with a number of reports out of the box as a best practice template and configuration pack that could be that could speed up the implementation and achieve the results faster. Dynamic reallocation of funds. This is a very interesting topic, and UMT will have a specific webcast from Ben Chamberlain, who's the Chief Marketing Officer, who talks about dynamic funds reallocation. The idea is that during the life cycle of a project, the project managers may need more money, or they may give some money back, and this free pool of money then can be redistributed to other projects that would not make the budget cut. Or potentially, if you see a project that is not performing well, you can take the money from that project and reallocate it to a project that would deliver a higher return on investment. Another level of maturity could be the benefits realization framework, which is basically thinking about what the project is bringing back to the organization, but not only budgeting that, but also tracking actuals of benefits and seeing how the benefits realization is performing for this organization. So let me do another demo in this case for project financial intelligence. So I will switch to my screen here, and what you will see is the same demo environment, and I will start with the business case analysis. So what I want to show you two stages of project management. The one is before selection, which could be called pipeline management or business case development, and then the second one is the execution. So if I click on this business case analysis, it shows us a report that is a report intended for project management office, and where project management office has a holistic view of all the financial aspects of their projects. So somewhere on the organizational level, there was said that we have $12 million as an organizational budget. So far, we have committed 6 million, meaning that 6 million are consuming projects that are currently in execution. As usually, there are more projects in the pipeline that we could execute, and we have available budget 6 million. So we can fund half of the money to cover those pipeline projects. And of course, you would use for example, the portfolio analysis that comes with Project Server to determine what are the right projects that you can execute. On those other charts, you can see the budget versus forecast. As I mentioned, this organization is the one that does the dynamic funds reallocation. So you see that people were under forecasting during 2014. Only in September, the forecast was relatively meeting the plus minus 10%, within 10 plus minus percent the budget. And of course, there are different financial breakdowns by project phase, by life cycle, by investment type. Let me drill into one particular project. So now I go into this innovation management framework. That is a project that is in the business case stage on the beginning of the project management cycle, definitely before selection. And what you can see here is that you see estimated cost and you see planned benefits. And these information are summary information, and they're summing up from the time-phased values that are captured in UMT 360, and then that obviously could be linked with your ERP system, or certain values can be linked. Typically, customers bring actuals from their ERP systems, and it could be some do it overnight, some do it on regular basis. The one thing that you probably notice is that UMT 360 enhances the workflow visualization by this nice colorful image that exactly shows you what are all the decision points and where your project is in. So currently this project is in the select gate, and you can see obviously all the other workflow information. But more importantly, you can see some other project details. That's something what you know from Project Server. This view that you will see shortly is enhanced by UMT 360 as well. This is a special component that has some logic behind it, some contextual logic. So for example, if you select different department like IT, then on the fly it shows you location field. What is important from the financial management perspective is that you can have multiple financial timelines. Typically, the cost timeline is different than the benefits timeline. Typically, the project might be either fully finished or halfway finished before it starts making money or realizing the benefit. Hence, multiple timelines here. in the cost estimates, as I mentioned when I talked about applications, you can capture, and in this case, project managers are capturing the time-phased cost estimates in different levels. You can also synchronize some of the cost automatically with project server, so it automatically creates or calculates the, let's say, labor cost for this labor section here. As I mentioned before, the financial governance is really important, and what it means is that in the workflow itself, you can very visually configure what type of granularity of data the project managers needs to provide at what workflow stages. So at this stage level 2, they just need to provide high-level CapEx and OpEx by month. That's it. But of course, if you want to see some summary information for entire project, you can do the same. Well, in this case, the workflow governance says by quarter, so I can capture this information by quarter for all time. Also, as mentioned before, we have multiple currencies, and similarly, like in Microsoft Project, you know, baselines. We have unlimited set of so-called snapshots that can snapshot or capture some key financial data, all this time phase data plus some key custom fields from Microsoft Project that allow you then to run trend analysis. And those snapshots could be taken automatically by the workflow or in bulk, let's say by month end, etc. I mentioned different currencies, different exchange rates. We have also breakdowns that, for example, allow you to see just part of this cost that is related to certain workflow phase or to certain purchase order, etc., etc. Benefit estimates could be captured very similarly in a very similar fashion, in a time-phased manner, where you can see that in this case, this organization requires even more higher level of benefits capture. So it could be just revenue growth, expense reduction, compliance, and that's it. So you, as a project manager, are filling out those 12 or 11 numbers, and then they roll up to total benefits, and that's all we need to do for benefit estimates. As you can imagine, the risk assessment, it's also very important, especially for projects. So you can build survey that will create a risk score that will designate this project. You know schedule from project management. I'm not going to go into details about that, but let me take a look at some program management. UMT360 adds capability of hierarchical assigning or linking projects to programs. And this project is linked to this global innovation program that may have workflow, may have some cost that is captured on a high level, on the program level. And then if we go into the program status, we can see here the budget variance, for example, between the program budget and the budget that is coming from or rolling up from those projects. So we are currently 3 million under budget in this demo example, and you can see all the same data in a time-phased manner, in a graphical time-phased representation. So that was a sneak peek into business case analysis. Let me show you how you can track cost for projects that are already in execution. So for this, we also supply a report that shows you by department budget, forecast, and variance, but also it shows you graphical representation of such data. More importantly, you can drill into the project level variances, where you can see the top overspending projects and the top underspending projects. They're right here. So these are the top overspending projects. These are the top underspending projects. And these are projects that Ben calls wolves in sheep's clothing, because they have a huge difference between what the project manager is forecasting versus the to-date performance. So you may want to drill into those as well. So I will take a look at this health assessment reporting tool. And again, there is a drill down that shows us a report specifically for this project. As the report will load, you can see that we are combining different KPIs on this report. So you can see CapEx, OpEx, and all the financial information that is right here. So what I've shown you very quickly in this last demo is we looked first at the business case analysis to see how the pipeline of project is doing, and then we looked at cost tracking and analysis. We also looked at assigning or associating projects with programs and seeing the high level program dashboards. Let me go back to the slides here. And I'd like to also mention that we have two products. The one is called UMT360 Financials, that adds the financial capabilities into Microsoft Project. But then there's also the UMT360 Portfolios that brings the Portfolio Center, for example, the roadmaps. That was the first demo that you have seen when we were showing how you can track applications, IT services. As mentioned, UMT360 is building on top of SharePoint and seamlessly integrates with Microsoft Project. And we are compatible with both SharePoint 2010 and 2013. And we are very soon announcing UMT360 Financials for Project Online as well. From the deployment perspective, this gives us and you the option to deploy either on-premises, in dedicated hosting cloud, or connected or integrated with the Microsoft Office 365 environment. So as a summary, on the beginning, I have talked about what is enterprise portfolio management and how UMT360 fits in. I definitely did a demo. Then I talked about project financial intelligence and how important it is to think about the return on investment, the benefits that the projects are bringing to the organization, the added revenue that organization gets, and showed a demo and wrapped up. There is a call to action right here as well. So what might be the next steps? So if you are a customer, we are happy to do a tailored discussion or demonstration that is relevant to your organization, that is relevant to your business process, that is relevant to your portfolios. And it's not just high-level discussion. We can configure your processes into UMT360 and show you how your process would look in UMT360. If you are partners, because UMT360 is a independent software vendor. In other words, we are building software solutions. Then we are partnering with partners, with system integrators who integrate or who add our UMT360 solution into their offering, thus enabling them to grow their business into high-end business solutions and going beyond the traditional project management office or IT. If you are Microsoft, we can definitely help you with extending the value of Microsoft Project and Microsoft SharePoint. So please don't hesitate to contact either those global aliases that are mentioned for every pillar, or directly me, jan.kallis@umt360.com. So this concludes today's demonstration and walkthrough through UMT360 solution for enterprise portfolio management that is seamlessly extending the value of Microsoft SharePoint and Microsoft Project. Thank you very much for joining us today, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask now.
Thank you very much, Jan. Actually, we do have five questions that were pending. Some of them actually were sort of answered in the last few minutes, but I'll go ahead and repeat them. The first question that we have is roughly how does the integration with Project comes about, as you were primarily showing the SharePoint environment. So from a hardware-software requisite, how does the integration actually takes place between SharePoint, UM360, and Project?
Okay, that's a great question. Thank you. So typically, when our customers think about the project financial intelligence and they have Project Server and they want to add the financial capabilities and financial intelligence into Project Server, then from the hardware perspective, we don't require any additional hardware. It's a software solution that is installed on top of Microsoft Project. And there's one important aspect is that it is so well integrated into Microsoft Project that people who do not know Project very well can actually be fooled that that's still Microsoft Project. And so maybe because what you have seen today was obviously showcasing UMT360 first on top of SharePoint in the first demo, and the second demo was actually focusing only on Microsoft Project. So great question. I hope it was answered. I'm happy definitely to follow up on more technical discussion if you want.
Okay, very well. And you did answer, of course, the fact that this can be integrated into versions 2010 and 2013, which was one of the questions that we had. Does it work specifically in the same format as the environment that we saw you right now? We're primarily using 2013 version, correct?
Correct. The demo that I was doing, I was using the latest 2013 versions of Microsoft products, and it works in a very similar format in 2010. For 2010, we don't have so many capabilities, especially in the enterprise portfolio management space, but in the project financial management space, it is very, very similar. It is very close. Though, as you can imagine, we are investing into building new capabilities of our products, and we are not so-called backporting all those capabilities back to the 2010 version. So you might see some of the new capabilities coming or going forward coming in the only for the 2013 release.
Okay. Another question which you did answer was the fact that it's a good both for on-premise and online, and you did mention that currently it only runs on-premise, and we can expect the online version somehow in the near future.
Yes, it's within a few weeks. Actually, we are. So if you are actually interested in running a pilot in your organization or with your customer integrated with Project Online, then please let us know today, because we already today have something that we can not only demonstrate, but we can also start planning into rolling into a live environment.
Okay, and the last question that we had to do with the workflows. You did reference to the workflows that is being running on the tool, on the solution. The question that we have is, does the workflows have to be set up separately in both Project and UMT360, or can somehow be integrated?
It's a great question. Thank you. And I should have talked a little bit more about that. The good news is that it's all integrated into one. So there's just one workflow. There's just one business process, if you will, that you design, and then that business process you break down in maybe SharePoint Designer, especially if you are talking about 2013 platform, and build the project workflow. You can add a number of UMT360 specific workflow actions and configure the workflow on the UMT360, especially on the financial governance on the UMT360 settings. But the point is that it's all one single workflow that you as a project, if you're implementing Microsoft Project, that you are familiar with. There are just few more settings and actions that are specific to the project financial intelligence for UMT360. But great question. Thank you.
Okay, and one final question that we have is related to the implementation, and it has a two-part. Do you have to implement Project Server first and then UMT360, or can the implementation for a company be done on a simultaneous way?
Okay, it's also a very frequent question. Thank you for asking that. We have seen customers who did both. You can do it either way. I think it more depends on the maturity, on what your organization needs. Well, in theory, if we step back, then implementing Project Server with UMT360 might be cheaper from the technical implementation perspective, because some of the configuration is not necessarily need to be done twice. But we have seen customers doing both, and really both make sense. What you can very easily do is that, and this is typical for all the project, even for deploying the PPM system, that it's the crawl, walk, run, where maybe you start capturing some cost estimates. So maybe you implement some of the capabilities of UMT360, and then as the maturity grows, you're turning on some other additional capabilities that UMT360 does. So that's the same approach as if you would be implementing Microsoft PPM.
Okay, and I'll ask one of my own based on that then, which is, if somebody already has Project Server implemented, what is the approximate deployment time of UM360 to be operational?
Great point. It depends. It depends on the process. As we say, the devil is in the details. It could be, but typically it's in the matter of days to weeks, again, depending on the level of complexity. Typically it's a week. And it also may include some of the basic end user training. So, of course, this is assuming that all the business processes and the business understanding on the customer side is present.
Okay, very well. We have no additional questions at this time. So, Jan, I will stop the recording at this time.